Hi, I'm so very glad you could join us for another episode of Sit Down with Susan. Today we are focusing on an important element of our community, 4-H. 4-H is an integral part of Kiowa County because it provides such excellent leadership training for our youth, as well as giving them the opportunity to sharpen their public speaking skills and to learn firsthand how to see their projects through to the end. We have a couple of area 4-Hers with us today and a parent as well who can lend what is probably a different perspective to 4-H than the kids have. Earlier this year, the Kiowa County Media Center produced a video that really does a much better job of telling you about 4-H than I can. So let's take a look and see just what 4-H is all about.
And by the seventh day, God rested from all the work he had done. The heavens and the earth and all their hosts were complete. And on the seventh day, God rested. But on the eighth day, God looked down at his creation and said, I need someone who will be proud of the creation I've made. I need someone who will work hard to care for and maintain the communities in which they live, who will work in cooperation with others.
To build, paint, and repair. Someone who is willing to shovel dirt and sweep barns and banquet hall floors.
Who will pick up trash in the neighborhood or gather food for the food bank.
God said, I need someone who will volunteer their time and talent to community service in order to keep my creation to bless others.
Someone who is willing to move tables and chairs for a livestock sale.
And then move them back again when the sale is over for a buyer appreciation dinner.
So God made a 4-H'er. God said, I need someone who will be a leader.
And stand up and speak for what they believe in. Someone who will live a life knowing that character counts.
And that someone else is looking up to them as a role model.
I need someone who can demonstrate to others how to do something.
Someone who can entertain others by playing an instrument or singing or proudly giving a speech.
Someone who can lead the Pledge of Allegiance or sing the national anthem at the fair.
Or lead a public prayer at a meeting or a banquet.
So God made a 4-H'er. God said, I need someone who will learn by doing. Someone who will set a goal and then work diligently to achieve that goal.
Someone who will listen to others.
Take advice from leaders, parents, agents, and other members.
Someone who is able to fail and learn from their mistakes, yet knows that hard work always pays off.
Someone who understands that practice makes perfect and will keep practicing until they are successful.
Someone who can win and be humble.
And someone who can lose with class and dignity.
So God made a 4-H'er. God said, I need someone who can take from the bounty I have created.
And make healthy and delicious meals for their family.
Someone who can cook and bake.
Make quilts and pillows, dresses and aprons, and tote bags.
Turn houses into homes by cooking and sewing, designing and decorating.
So God made a 4-H'er.
God said, I need someone who can take a 500-pound calf and halter break him.
Someone who can raise a pig, lamb, goat, chicken, or rabbit.
Someone who will spend an entire summer caring for their animals.
Who will feed, water, brush, train, and talk to them.
God said, I need someone who is
tough enough to grab hold of that same steer, heifer, or lamb that has just dragged them across the show ring.
And someone who is tender enough to say goodbye with tears in their eyes.
So God made a 4-H'er. God said, I need someone who will learn these skills and values.
To lead, serve, and work hard when we are young.
And to continue to practice these beliefs long into adulthood.
We will pass these values on to our children and grandchildren as we enjoy life together with our families.
It would have to be someone who would use their head for clearer thinking, their heart for greater loyalty, their hands
to larger service, my health to better living.
For my club, my community, my country, and my world.
So God made a 4-H'er.
Oh my, what a fabulous job they all did. Come back in a moment and we'll visit with Hannah Brown, one of Kiowa County's veterans in the 4-H realm.
4-H is a unique organization. It is the only youth development organization with oversight and sponsorship by the federal government. Through the 4-H educational mission, we help youth to learn by doing and to lead by example. In 4-H, we are committed to providing a positive experience for as many young people as possible. Not just with the belief that 4-H grows great kids, but the belief that by preparing our youth for school, work, and life, that we are contributing to a vibrant economy for years to come. There are currently 2 traditional 4-H clubs in Kiowa County with over 40 members. 4-H is open to anyone between the ages of 7 to 19, and the Clover Bud program is open to those youth 5 to 7. Interested in learning more about 4-H? Please contact us at 620-723-2156. Or come on by the Kiowa County Commons and visit us inside the Kiowa County Extension Office. So join the club. Together we can grow great kids across Kansas.
This episode of Sit Down with Susan is brought to you by Kiowa County 4-H. I'm so glad you could come back. We have Hannah Brown with us today. Hannah will be a senior at Kiowa County High School. Hannah, how long have you been in 4-H?
This is my 10th year.
Oh my.
Yeah, but I was in 4-H even before I was old enough because my brothers were and my mom was the leader, so I've been around it most of my life. So,
what do you like about 4-H? Like if you were talking to some students, some kids in elementary school, why would you tell them to get involved? Isn't it time consuming?
It is. It's very time consuming, but I think it brings a lot to the table. I don't have a problem talking in front of people. I do forensics in high school, and I've been able to give speeches in front of people since I was 7 because of 4-H, and that is something that will help you for the rest of your life. I know a lot of people through 4-H throughout the whole state, and that's really cool to go somewhere and know something.
Oh, I bet.
Know someone from something else. And it teaches you great values like hard work and sticking through something, because the fair is in 3 weeks, and I don't have a lot done for it, but I'm going to make sure that I work hard and get it all done. But there's just so many things that I love about 4-H. I love working with kids, and I get to do that all the time, and there's just so many good things about it.
It looks, from the looks of this table, you have been really, really successful at 4-H as well. You have lots of awards, and I'm sure more at home. What have been some of your favorites?
Well, I really like to show livestock. Pigs are my favorite, and there's 2 classes when you show livestock. One of them is market, which judges your animal, and then showmanship is how you show the animal, how you show off his market qualities and how you interact with the judge and that kind of thing. And if you get the top 2 places in showmanship, then you get to go on to round robin, and that's where you show all 5 species, which would be sheep, goat, pig, horse, and cattle.
Have you done that?
Yeah, I've won
all 5?
Yeah, I've won
it
like
gosh.
5 times.
Oh wow!
This is from that.
This giant belt buckle here is
that's
from doing that?
Round robin, yep.
Very impressive. Have you ever entered things other than livestock?
Oh yeah, I take photography. That's one of my favorite things. I also take plant science, which is like It can be anywhere from vegetables to like flowers at your flower garden, leather crafts, woodworking, and leadership is another one. So,
you mentioned market value. These animals that you take care of all year, do they go to market? Like, they're a pretty big investment. Is there any return for you?
Well, we actually have 2 pigs at my house. One is my nephew's, and so we'll take one to the meat shop and we'll butcher him, and then we'll sell the other one. And then our sheep and our goats, we don't eat those. So there's a market in Salina and one in Dodge that we take them to usually. So,
does it bother you after you've taken care of these animals all year to kind of watch them go?
Yeah, it does. I thought that when I was little I would like grow out of that stage, but it's hard to like put so much time and effort into something, and you know, they have personalities too, and we become friends more or less, and it's hard to see them go sometimes. But I remember the first year I was in 4-H, we put my pig in the trailer, and I cried forever, and my dad was like, if you do this anymore, we're not gonna do it the next year. But we've always done it, and maybe it'll get easier. I don't know. Yeah. It's tough though.
Does it translate into any money for you, or is it just meat for the family, which is fine? But
yeah. Oh, we get a little of both. Usually I take out a loan that is strictly for 4-H, which would be feed, like wash supplies. Like for our sheep, we have shears and that kind of thing, just supplies. And so I'll split it with Brandon, and then after we get our fair checks in about August, we'll pay that back, and then whatever we have left is our profit. So.
Oh, good deal. You've had all these different animals, and I'm assuming, I've seen pigs in their natural habitat. I'm assuming you have to do something to get them ready for this fair. Do you just lead them out of their pigsty, mud and all, and put them in the truck and haul them to town?
Usually we load them up the night before. We always weigh in for the fair on a Monday morning. So the Sunday before the fair, we'll load them, all the animals up in the trailer, and we'll wash them all down. And then at the fair, we have wash pens. And so like the day of the pig show, I'll take my pig out there and I'll wash them all off. And I usually shave my pigs. When we shave them, it makes them look like a longer hog, and that's a good market trait.
Shaving makes something look longer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so you shave your pig.
Yeah, just with hair clippers. Just put a guard on and
shave and a haircut.
Yeah.
Dress that pig up.
Yeah, and then
why do you want a longer looking pig?
Well, there's like more meat available if he's longer,
I
so
see.
that's a good thing.
It's kind of an optical illusion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then right before the show, we'll put baby oil on.
Do pigs like all this?
I don't know. They don't. They don't talk, so they don't tell me that they don't like it.
Do they patiently stand there and let you do all that?
Kind of hang out. We usually give them a little food, so then we'll just put all the baby oil on and stuff, and they'll just be eating.
Kind of like a little pig massage.
Yeah, and we always put ice towels on them because pigs can't sweat, so they get really hot. And if pigs are hot, then they'll fight in the ring, and it gets like really intense. So we always try and keep them cool before we go into the ring. So ice towels.
Wow, I had no idea that you had to keep a pig cool or they'd fight. Cool down your pigs.
Yeah, and then for our sheep, we'll shear them the weekend before the fair, and their wool is probably like 5 inches long right now, and it's really like matted, and I mean, because we don't shear them before because they'll get sunburned and flies will attack them, so we just wait and do it right before the fair. So we'll have to wash them a few days before because it takes so long to dry, and if you shear them when they're wet, then it's really messy and it's not very good on your shears.
And you can't throw them in a dryer because, you know, wool shrinks and you only have tiny little sheep.
Little bitty sheep. Then goes all our feeding out the window.
Out the window, and your money, because like, really, what market is there for tiny little sheep?
I don't know.
None. You can't make a sweater out of that. So you do all that at the last minute.
Yeah, and then some sheep, if they have black like legs, then you'll comb their hair up. You don't cut the leg hair off. You comb it up.
Man, there's a lot to grooming these animals just to take them into town.
And ours is pretty low class. I mean, like we put a lot into our fair, but like if you go to like the Junior Livestock Show or things like that, like big shows, there's so much that goes on. Just
printing and prettying up these animals.
Yeah, they're like celebrities. You have to do a lot of work before you can show them off. Yeah.
Wow. And I know you're taking woodworking.
Yeah.
Just to veer off the animals for just a minute because she's an award-winning woodworker at our high school. When they go to competitions, Hannah's woodworking wins her top awards every time she takes it. She's amazing. And I'm sure you're taking was this year a roll top desk?
Roll top desk, yeah. It'll be at the fair.
I bet there'll be a grand champion on that at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
I appreciate your coming.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yes, absolutely. The fair is just around the corner. When is it anyway?
It's the last week in July.
The last week in July.
And it's Monday through Thursday.
Out at the fairgrounds. There's even lunches available.
Yeah,
if people want to come out and have
supper.
a meal.
Yep, supper will be every night, and then we'll have like a watermelon feed, ice cream social, those kind of things. We're also having an ATV rodeo. We've had it for a few years now, and people really seem to enjoy that. So there will be a schedule posted around town and also in the newspaper, so you'll have to be on the lookout for that and make sure you check it out.
So there's plenty to do. Thank you for your time and your information.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you at the fair.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
The internet has drastically changed the way we communicate. Are you keeping up with the times? The Kiowa County Media Center can connect you with viewers in markets all over the region, the state, and the world. Our technology keeps us on pace with the high demand of internet video content. Bring your audience from anywhere in the world to your wedding, conference, sporting event, concert, and much more. No one does high-quality video streaming like us. We are the Kiowa County Media Center, leading the new age of communication.
This episode of Sit Down with Susan is brought to you by Kiowa County 4-H. Hi, welcome back to Sit Down with Susan. We're fortunate to have Alex Friesen and her mom Gina with us for the second part of our show. Alex is a member of what 4-H club, Alex?
Southwestern Royals.
Southwestern Royals. How long have you been a Southwestern Royal?
4 years.
Oh my gosh, so you're about to go into 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So you started when you were a 4th grader?
Yeah, I think so.
What do you like about 4-H? Why do you stick with it?
I like doing projects, and I like camp a lot. And I like just being at the fair because there's lots of people that I don't see a lot, and then I can see them there, and I can get ribbons and show the stuff that I've made throughout the year.
How fun. And 4-H week, the week of the fair, I mean, that's just pretty much 4-Hers are there, aren't they, kind of like all day, all the time, 24/7.
Yeah.
Getting into all kinds of interesting fun.
Yes.
Speaking of 4-H, what do the H's, just in case there's somebody out there who doesn't know, what do the H's stand for?
Head, heart, hands, and health.
Oh, very good. Head, heart, hands, and health. Yeah. And this year at 4-H, what are you doing?
I'm doing photography and arts and crafts and quilting and...
You're already a quilter?
Yeah.
And you're just going to be in 8th grade?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
I think I've made like 3 or 4 quilts.
Already?
Well, not this year.
Yeah, but
yes.
Leading into this year. This will be like your 3rd or 4th quilt?
Mm-hmm.
One of them's made it to the state fair.
Well, actually, I think this is my 4th or 5th quilt. I don't know.
Alex. You're awesome. Good job. And your mom said one quilt has already been to the state fair?
Yeah.
Are you even 13?
My first year. Yeah.
Just barely 13? Yeah. And you've already had a quilt go to the state fair?
Mm-hmm.
There's no hope for the rest of us.
I'm not the one helping you with the quilting.
My grandma helps me.
Are these hand quilted?
No, she has a really big quilting machine.
Uh-huh.
That she got at an auction, but nobody knew what it was.
And so you put the squares together.
Mm-hmm. I sew the blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sew the blocks together, and then I sew the rows together. And then I get like a big sheet, and then I put it on the quilting machine and quilt. And sometimes I follow either a pattern or I just kind of freehand. But this year I followed a pattern.
What pattern did you do?
Well, like kind of some weird figure 8 things on it. And then my blocks are like chevron things.
I bet it's gorgeous. What colors did you choose?
I have a lot. I have some like pinks and oranges and white and black and purples and blues and.
Sounds beautiful. Do you have any animals in the fair this year?
Well, we have a lizard. And he doesn't go in the barn, but
We don't have to shave him or like put ice packs on him or anything, do you?
No.
It's not like a pig.
No.
Good. No pigs, no cattle.
No. We had pigs last year, but Mom said no more pigs.
Mom!
Well, actually, Dad said. Mom and Dad both said no pigs this year.
Mom, what's up?
Well,
no pigs?
I think if
Did you run out of baby oil or what?
Yeah. I'm probably not as hands-on as some of the other parents in 4-H because I believe if they want to be in 4-H, then it's their responsibility to take care of their projects and it's their responsibility to make sure everything's done the way it's supposed to. If they need some help from me, I will help, but I've probably said a million times I'm not the one in 4-H.
Did you grow up being
in 4-H?
Did you grow up being the one in 4-H?
I did, and my mom is the home economist, and so some of that tough love probably came from her because there was a lot of to make sure that people didn't think that she was
showing
our
any
projects.
favoritism
Yes.
for her kids.
It was you need to do this yourself, and there were guidance if we needed it, and so I feel the same way with them. In fact, they've been told before they couldn't be in 4-H if they weren't going to do their projects.
And how many kids do you have?
I have 3. 2 of them are in 4-H right now. And last year, the 2 older ones that are in 4-H had pigs. And they got in and walked around with them and played with them and did the
So they were friends to the
hands-on.
pigs.
Mm-hmm. But they would
They
sometimes
liked the
forget
pigs.
to make sure they had food or that their water was filled. So
And you know, pigs can't sweat, so they really need that water.
so their dad picked up the slack on that, and by the end of the fair, he just said, I think you need to not have them for a year and think about the responsibility that's involved in that, and so maybe next year they can try it again.
Anything you want to add there, Miss Alex?
Well, we did check if they had food, but we couldn't fill it up because it was really heavy.
Well, next year you'll be that much stronger. Do you think, after having not had them for a year, what? Do you think you ever want them again?
Yeah, I
or-
want them again.
You do?
Yeah.
You do want them again?
Yes. They're fun.
They are fun?
Yeah.
Why else, though, as a parent, it is a big time investment.
It is. But I think it teaches them leadership skills, like you said earlier. It teaches them some public speaking, responsibility. If they don't get their projects done, then they don't get the reward at the end. Also, like with the pig, I heard Hannah say that she took out a loan. My husband and I bought the pig and paid for the food, but we kept track of that, and at the end, they had to pay us, and then the rest of their money had to go in savings. We didn't let them just have it, but it teaches them responsibility for next year, that they would either have to save that money to purchase another pig next year, or at the end they didn't like that either.
Well,
They
but
had to
I
pay
just
it all
don't think
back.
there's anything wrong, though, with the natural consequences. When kids can realize early on there are some natural consequences to not getting enough food to your pig on time, or how much things really do cost, and having to kind of stand behind that. Like, that's a pretty good lesson.
It didn't really bother me to give the money to Mom and Dad at the end because they paid for all our stuff, and we all knew since like the very beginning that we'd have to pay them back.
Yes.
So, and then the leftovers that we had, like the money that we didn't give to them, we could keep, and some put in the bank. And
So you kind of divided it, some went into savings.
Yeah.
Did you get to use a little of it for something fun now?
Yeah.
Good.
That's
wise.
They have to do a log sheet too that breaks all that out, so that helps too with them understanding the concept of finances. And then like the other projects, quilting, which I do not help with. My mother-in-law is the quilter, but precision cutting and the patience to make sure that if it's not right, they have to rip that out and fix it. And so patience, responsibility.
I think that would take a lot of patience.
Quilting?
Yes.
I like it. It's not. I think I don't have the enough patience that much to do binding. I really hate binding a lot.
Binding and Alex are not friends.
It's such a small little piece that I have to sew on, and if you get off, then you have to rip, and I always get off, and then I just sew on like my quilt because I don't know that I'm off. It's horrible. And then you have to make sure you don't have wrinkles. You have to fold it. Binding alone takes like an hour and a half. Depends on how big the quilt is.
Oh, I bet. I made one quilt in my whole life. And
it wasn't for
one.
you.
Been there, done that. I can check that off. I made my one quilt. And so I'm really impressed that you've made so many and you have stuck with it because it really is time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure I sent mine to the quilter with the binding not bound. I think that she did that when she quilted it. Because I'm pretty sure I did not. I had the same reaction. Oh golly, this is going to... The sewing machine's going to go out the window and maybe the quilt with it.
Quilting's my favorite.
Is it really?
Big quilting machine. I like doing that. Yeah. Unless the needle or the thread breaks.
Yeah.
Then I don't like to, because that takes a while to get fixed, and then it just takes away, like, I could finish that row when we're putting the string back through the needle or something.
Now, when you're taking your baked goods, what kinds of things do you have to know? Because I know they have open class, and I know they let people who are not in 4-H, people like me, and when I was a kid, everybody who was in 4-H lived in the country, but that's not necessarily the case anymore. I know a lot of kids who live in town.
Mm-hmm.
It's for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of seem to have a sort of a resurgence, it seems like. It kind of was waning there for a while, and now it's both clubs in our community, both Upward Strivers and Southwestern Royals, really are coming along.
If some of that has to do with, because some of us that had been in 4-H before, our kids have gotten old enough to be in, well, like in our club, 6 of the 13 kids are my sister and I.
So
but like the McMurray kids, I know their mom was in 4-H, and Hannah's family is. I just think maybe some of those.
It's just recycled now into the next generation, and now all of you who were in it when you were kids, you stayed in the community, and now it's your kids' turn.
Mm-hmm.
And so, regardless of, you and I, like, we can talk. Mom, your mom's kind of maybe a little reluctant mom in the 4-H scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because she is all about, and I agree totally, it's your project, you do it.
Yeah.
So even knowing that, you're going to stick with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good deal.
It's fun.
Good deal. Okay. Well, I'm so glad that you could come today, and good luck at the fair with all your baking. And do you have any photography that you're going to take?
Yeah, I've taken pictures throughout the year. I've taken some in like winter when there's snow, and I've taken some like in the summer and during school. I just kind of take them all year round, and then when I get to fair time that I have to pick out my pictures, I have all the pictures that I need, and I don't have to hurry around and take some pictures that maybe weren't the best.
That's thinking ahead. That's a good idea. So you'll have cooking projects, artistry, quilting. You're going to be entered in a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll come out and see all your blue and purple ribbons, and I know you'll do a great job.
I don't know if Hannah mentioned, but also the style review is the week before the fair. Where the kids
not just the last week of July, but actually 4-H events start the week before.
Where the kids that have sewn garments, or it can be purchased, and they do a little fashion show, and
is there some horse?
I think the horse show is usually the week before.
The week before too. I thought there were some events involving horses the week before as well. So there's lots to do, and a lot of reasons for you to let your kids get involved in 4-H. Thank you for joining us.
4-H is a unique organization. It is the only youth development organization with oversight and sponsorship by the federal government. Through the 4-H educational mission, we help youth to learn by doing and to lead by example. In 4-H, we are committed to providing a positive experience for as many young people as possible. Not just with the belief that 4-H grows great kids, but the belief that by preparing our youth for school, work, and life, that we are contributing to a vibrant economy for years to come. There are currently 2 traditional 4-H clubs in Kiowa County with over 40 members. 4-H is open to anyone between the ages of 7 to 19, and the Clover Bud program is open to those youth 5 to 7. Interested in learning more about 4-H? Please contact us at 620-723-2156. Or come on by the Kiowa County Commons and visit us inside the Kiowa County Extension Office. So join the club. Together we can grow great kids across Kansas.
I know you're really going to be impressed with the musical talents of our guest today, Jeremiah Williams.
Before your heart could beat, before your lungs could breathe. Oh, from clay of this earth, I formed you to be much more than what you believe. Oh, you knew me before the world was born, before the sun came to be. Oh, wretched and vile is what you became. Oh, so far from what I can see. So through nails, wood, and blood, heaven's arm reached down. The whole earth shook with sound.